Welcome back. Vedanta has stepped up its focus on investment into its semiconductors and display business. Do note, the company has added this business to its diversified portfolio only recently. My colleague Parikshit spoke with Akarsh Hebar, Global MD of Vedanta Semiconductors and Display Business, and began by asking him about the key growth priorities, manufacturing plans and more. Listen in.
We have our strategy in place to do this. It doesn't change much with the demerger, but it actually enhances the fact that we are more focused on each business on its own and to give the retail shareholder and the world a chance at looking at each of these businesses individually. When you look at the demerger, our announcement from the chairman was that this will be housed under Vedanta Limited. So we already have assets like HZL, which are cash rich, which have a very good balance sheet, and our balance sheet helps that we can support these businesses by ourselves. And having said that, there is a large chunk of it which is already going to be funded from our operations, from our businesses. We have a healthy balance sheet, healthy EBITDA going forward, and our plan remains the same, that we will put in the equity and then we will look at debt restructuring post, looking at how the approval comes in and what is the size of the cost. Right.
So you're saying that the resources for the semiconductor and display business will come from internal resources.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The other point that we would also like to ask you is that would you at some stage like to raise public equity for this business?
So this business is going to, we have a tech partner who we are wanting to take equity with us, and we have, once this develops into an ecosystem play, we will have a lot of downstream and a lot of upstream partners who will definitely want to come on board. So we and the tech partner, once the factory starting to build, we are going towards either a public issue or just having the factory start on its own. We will do what's best for the company. We will look at if we need more public equity or if it is debt, and that is the call we'll take at that point of time.
Right, so that will start probably when manufacturing begins.
Correct.
So what are you likely to invest in the immediate term or in the next 1 to 2 years?
If I look at the priorities in what we need to invest in is, number one, we urge that we jointly invest in us, the government and the players coming in localizing the ecosystem and the infrastructure that is needed to support this factory. Number two, to look at talent and making sure we have enough number of people coming who are experienced in building these fabs, and also new talent from local, from India, who will start learning and going to those fabs and understanding how to run it themselves.
Right. Have you outlined any kind of capex for that, any capex need that you would have immediately?
So the capex need for we are anyway investing, we have announced that we are investing $20 billion, and we have said that the factory will require about $8 to $10 billion for foundry, and for display it's about $3 to $4 billion. This is phase one. And this is the capex outlay we expect to spend. And this will be over a period of 3 to 4 years, as and when the working capital is needed for the factory to be built out.
Right. Now, as far as your discussions with the government goes for the Semicon program, what is the status of your talks both on an application for making semiconductors and an application for display?
So both of these applications are reiterating the fact that we are committed to making this industry happen. And with the Prime Minister's vision, we actually have a very well set guideline as to what is it that we can build, how it can be advantageous. There's many policies in the ESDM sector, there's many policies in the PLI schemes that have come out, and we have already I think they've already 10 lakh crores in the last 2 years have already been disbursed for PLI scheme. There is huge credibility around what the government policies are and how they're working through making it a successful venture for all the business houses like that, right? And we really want it to be not just us, we want it to be multiple people who will make multiple fabs, multiple foundries in our country. So I think our status is that we and the government are always walking hand in hand, and we are going to make this successful together.
So have you applied for both categories, and by when do you expect approvals?
So we are expecting the approval once we put the application, we will expect approval soon as the government does its due diligence. The government is going to put a subsidy into this, and that requires due diligence, that requires them to assess us from an independent point of view, and we do expect them to move very fast.
Mr. Agarwal, the chairman of Vedanta, had spoken about the fact that they will have a world technology partner very soon. An announcement would be made. How close are you to that announcement?
I mean, like in the words of the chairman, very soon. So
By the end of the year, in the next few months?
No, for
early
us,
next year?
we want this yesterday, and we are in very good talks with most of the tech partners. So very soon you'll hear about it, definitely.
Interesting chat there, but out of time now on Midcap Radar. Your stocks when we return.